accurately describe the forces that account for capillary exchange. Capillary exchange is the process by which essential nutrients, gases such as oxygen and carbon dioxide, and wastes move between the blood in capillaries and the surrounding tissue fluid. This critical exchange takes place across the thin walls of capillaries and is governed by two opposing forces: hydrostatic pressure and osmotic pressure. Hydrostatic pressure is the force exerted by the blood against the capillary wall, essentially the blood pressure within these tiny vessels. Hydrostatic pressure drives filtration, meaning it pushes water and small solutes out of the capillaries and into the surrounding interstitial fluid. This pressure is highest at the arterial end of the capillary and gradually drops as blood moves towards the venous end. Osmotic pressure, specifically called colloid osmotic pressure, is mainly created by plasma proteins, especially albumin, which are too large to easily pass through the capillary walls. These proteins draw water back into the capillaries by osmosis, and this process is called reabsorption. Unlike hydrostatic pressure, osmotic pressure remains relatively constant along the length of the capillary because the proteins largely stay inside the vessel. At the arterial end of a capillary, hydrostatic pressure exceeds osmotic pressure. So there is a net movement of fluid out of the capillary and filtration dominates. By the time blood reaches the venous end, hydrostatic pressure has decreased, and osmotic pressure becomes the dominant force, resulting in a net movement of fluid back into the capillary. Therefore, reabsorption dominates. This balance between filtration and reabsorption ensures the efficient exchange of substances and helps maintain the proper fluid balance between the blood and the surrounding tissues. Any imbalance in these forces can have significant clinical consequences. For example, edema, the accumulation of excess fluid in tissues, can result from low plasma protein levels, such as in liver disease or malnutrition, which reduces osmotic pressure and impairs reabsorption. Alternatively, high hydrostatic pressure in the capillaries, as seen in heart failure, can force more fluid out into the tissues, also leading to swelling. Understanding these pressures and their effects is vital for assessing and managing conditions that affect fluid balance in patients.